Hello friends, today I am coming to you with WOW Series 7, but I want to divide these WOW Series 7 into two parts, part 1 and part 2, because I am going to cover a very tough, difficult subject, but very important and useful to all of you. That is, the topic is happy life. In the part A, I will cover two concepts or two ideas. One is known as G3, another is known as EFTB. In the part 2, I will cover another two concepts or two ideas which are known as NBH-UBH and another one is concept of 3C. What those two things are, I will cover in the part 2 of it. But now I will come to the part 1, which is I am going to cover two aspects, two concepts, two ideas. That is G3. You may be wondering what is G3. This is a special name I have given to one of the part in our brain. That part is known as synapse. S-Y-N-A-P-S-E. Synapse means what? That is a junction between two neurons. That is known as a synapse. When a neuron passes up the electrical impulses to the other neuron, that passes through this particular synapse junction. Some people call it as like a U shape or smallest. It passes there, it stays for a nanosecond, 1/1000th of a second it stays. But I call this as a God-given gap. Why I am calling it as a God-given gap? Because in the real life, if you really feel that something is happening to you, somebody said something to you, something life has thrown to you, and if you are going to immediately react, then you are going to apply the law of the Newton's third law. That is, every reaction is having equal and opposite reaction. But you are a human being. You are not a chemical reaction. Therefore, before reacting or before answering, you have to stay for a second, stay for a minute, or stay for some time, and then respond. Then it is not going to become a reaction. It is going to become a response. Therefore, this particular nanosecond gap, which I am talking about synapse, always you should keep in mind that before giving any reply to anybody or you are going to tackle any situation, you have to stay for some time, think of synapse and stay for some time, then give your response. Then it is a response. Otherwise, it becomes a reaction. For example, somebody calls you an ass or a gada. Are you going to search for a tail at your back? No. You know pretty well you are not an ass. Therefore, you think that fellow is either blind or is highly prejudiced or himself is an ass. Therefore, but generally, if you have seen most of the TV debates or political debates, if somebody calls you ass, the other fellow says you are a pig or you are a gada or whatever it is. Immediate reaction. There is nothing like waiting for some time to reflect what the other person has said and going to respond. They react. Then it becomes what? Tu my game. But if you have seen really intelligent people who understood life, they reflect for some time. And then they give their response. Then it becomes a response but not a reaction. Remember when you are a child or when you are growing up, elders used to say, if you are getting angry or upset, count 10. 1 to 10 you count. That means they are asking you to get into that gaps or what we call synapse or God-given gift. If you remember pretty well, most of the time when somebody knocks at the door, who is going to run to the door to open the door? Youngest kid. Daddy or mummy or grandfather, somebody has come, I'm going to open the door. But like that, you should not rush to give a reaction. You have to think, you have to reflect, think of synapse, stay for some time, and then give your response. Then it becomes a response but not reaction. Therefore, always remember this G3, that is God-given gap, which I call it as a synapse. This is the first concept I am going to tell you. I hope you have understood it. And second concept is slightly different. It is known as EFTB. You may be wondering what is this EFTB? And my statement will surprise you. It is every feeling is thought-based. I strongly believe that every feeling is thought-based. Then except physical feelings like physical hurt, hunger, thirst, these are physical feelings. Except these physical feelings, all those feelings which come to your mind and to your heart, what they call, they are all because of how you think about it. Therefore, please remember, every feeling is thought based. And in Upanishads, they say, Yadbhavam Tad Bhavati. You become as you think. And one of the famous French philosopher, René Descartes, or what they call René Descartes, but I call it as René Descartes. He is a French philosopher. He said, Cogito Ergo Sum, which means you are what you think. Therefore, friends, remember, if these two things you remember, then it will give you a lot of help to you. But Eastern philosophy, our Indian philosophy and etc. say, our conscious is much more bigger than what you think and what you feel. But I'm not going to go deep into that particular philosophical aspect. I'll stick to my topic that every feeling is thought-based. And how do you know? For example, it is psychologically proved that in our brain, when we are thinking, there will be always a major single thought only. There cannot be two thoughts. There will be a single major thought. Subconsciously something may be there, but consciously when you think, there is only one thought. For example, let us say, when you are going to say Rama, 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 that is a thought. You are saying Rama, Rama, Rama. Ravana cannot come unless you leave Rama. Therefore, always when you are having pleasant and good and positive thoughts, negative thoughts cannot come. That is why our elders give a lot of importance to japa, mantra ucharan and etc. Therefore, if you go on chanting Lord's name, then negative thoughts will not come. Therefore, please remember, all your feelings which you are thinking are thought-based. I will give another example. Think of somebody who has hurt you or humiliated you 2 years back. If you recollect that thought, again the feeling of unhappiness, anger will come, sadness will come to you, because that feeling is thought-based, though it has happened 2 years back. Think of something pleasant. You went to a beach with your friend or with your loved one and you're playing with your kids or grandkids. Then automatically the happy feeling comes. How this feeling is coming? This is coming because of the thinking. Therefore, my dear friends, you try to control your thoughts. As I said, Yadbhavam Tad Bhavati. Or as René Descartes said, Cogito Ergo Sum. You are as you think. Friends, if you follow these two ideas, your life is going to be much more a happy one. And thank you for listening to me. I will come to you again with the part 2, talking about 2 concepts, NBH, UGH, and also concept of 3C. You may be wondering what they are. You have to wait. I'll come back with you WOW series 7 part 2 in course of time. Thank you very much.